reading up on it, that's mostly due to access. It's easier to get a divorce here than it is in a lot of other countries. So I wouldn't say we're the worst country to find a spouse. I'm in agreement with Austin. I think we're pretty much middle of the pack, or you know what I mean. You either gonna find it or you're not. I think we have a lot of problems over here where we not in alignment with one another. We don't know, you know what I mean? A lot of us are having that problem, but I don't think we're the worst country to find a spouse.
It should just be one type of marriage, the one that works, not the one that is created. Modern marriage is just a creation of nonsense. So
Totally agree.
why can't we pick the one that actually is successful?
Well, I mean, granted, I don't really disagree with that statement. Different what a successful marriage is looks different to different people. But let's be honest, we now have terminology that describes specific types of marriages that women say. Most women say they want a traditional marriage. They want a man. They don't want to work to pay significant bills. They want what we would term a traditional, more rigid system. And some of those women that would say they want that, they haven't got married yet. Some of them that are more adapted to a quote unquote contemporary style of marriage, they may have a higher success rate. That's all I mean. I'm simply looking at the reality of the situation versus our idealistic, whatever works. Yes, you're absolutely 100% correct. But we also ascribe terms to stuff in the real world.
Yeah. All right, let me get to Sweeney and Nicole.
Some people said I was reading the chat. No, I wasn't actually reading the chat. I was actually.
Really?
I was actually looking up. Me saying that me.
He was reading the chat, and people were saying he was reading the chat, and he wasn't reading the chat. But
I just said that, bro. You just stole my own thunder. God damn it, Mr. Let Go. But no, I was actually looking up the stats. America is amongst one of the countries with the highest marriage rates. We also are amongst the highest countries amongst. We are also amongst the highest countries that have the highest divorce rates. But reading up on it, that's mostly due to access. It's easier to get a divorce here than it is in a lot of other countries. So I wouldn't say we're the worst country to find a spouse. I'm in agreement with Austin. I think we're pretty much middle of the pack, or you know what I mean. You either gonna find it or you're not. I think we have a lot of problems over here where we not in alignment with one another. We don't know, you know what I mean. A lot of us are having that problem, but I don't think we're the worst country to find a spouse.
Yeah, I think that part of that, Sweeney, is due to the fact that because America is genuinely a melting pot, not just of race, it's a melting pot of religion, it's a melting pot of a lot of different belief systems that are incorporated into this massive country. It's hard for people to find balance, but again, you have ease of access. So if one person doesn't fit, you can engage in this sort of idea, or sort of just fishing until you catch it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what we're dealing with in the United States at this point.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Austin.
No, I was just gonna say, when you have an amalgamation of different cultures all sitting in one big I'll call it a dating ecosystem, obviously, yeah, you'll have high marriage rates because more people can try things. More people are trying to make stuff work. More people are trying to essentially fit square pegs in round holes. You know, you have you may end up in America, you could see a Muslim marrying an atheist, and then eventually that relationship could end up getting a divorce because those are two different conflicting ideologies. Typically in other countries, there's one dominant religion. You know, there's one dominant way of doing things. And so I would expect to see, from a statistical standpoint, longer lasting marriages because there's more, you're brought up under a more codified, unified system versus in America, it's come as you please, do what you will, and here's the salad bar, take what works and throw away what doesn't.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem, I don't think, because I have been all over the world, so I don't know what other countries are doing to that degree to be able to say that. So I'm going to be biased towards America. And one of the biggest issues, I think women have too much of the backing of the government. Virtually anything a woman does, the government is going to bail them out. So I don't know how governments work in other countries to that degree. So I can't really say when it comes to that. But I do know America has a problem with our women because the government, no matter what a woman does, the government is going to bail them out of the stupid shit they do. So a woman, if you just think about marrying a woman, she's going to turn around and start whining about she's not happy. And take the dude for half his shit, and now he has to pay alimony and child support and all the other shit, right? So if that wasn't there, or if that was to change or get better in some type of way because the government isn't just bailing women out of whatever dumb decision that they make, I think we would have a great system here when it comes to marriage. But I don't think the American government wants people married. I think they want us in separate households, so we'll pay more taxes, and most of us will always be working instead of somebody being home taking care of the kids, because the kids now, because it's two different households or one household, the kid is guaranteed to go to public school and be indoctrinated by the school system. So because of that, that's the reason why we have so many problems. But if it's compared to other countries, I have no idea. So I'm not even going to say one is better than the other because I don't know.
All right, I'm going to go ahead to Nicole. Go ahead, Nicole.
Yeah, I actually have to agree with Mr. Lego on that one.
What?
I mean, left-leaning, countries typically complain the loudest about their women. France, Norway, Sweden, countries that are more liberal complain the loudest that their women are the most difficult, typically. But in the United States, what I will say is that if you're raised in a family that values marriage, if you are raised around a community that values marriage, and you're brought up and you're groomed to be a wife, you're groomed to be a husband, you're groomed to respect the institution, you're going to surround yourself and be in circles with people who have the same value system, and you're going to gravitate towards those people. My husband was in Ohio. I was in Atlanta. If I had listened to people on social media, they would have told me you're over 40, divorcee is over for you. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. The God I serve can give me anything I want if I ask. And that's what he told me. He promised me that. And I met an awesome man, and I had to move to Ohio, but I met an awesome man, and I'm up there. Yes, he is wonderful. So I believe that if people want to get married, you can do it. We try to make it as difficult as possible because there's so many options, there's so many places. But I do believe women need a strategy. You just need to know how to move. Men need to know what you want. Women need to know what they want. Get where you can get help to get groomed on how to be a great companion and understand what marriage is. And I think it can happen for anybody that wants it. I look at the glass half full, and it's worked out for me. And I believe that for other people it can too if they really want it.
Amen to that.
All right. Go ahead, Fatty.
The divorce rate on my country on the last 10 years is 75%. There's laws in Spain that literally, if you are accused of domestic violence, you have to stay outside of your house for 30 days, and you have to prove that you are innocent and is not innocent until you are proven guilty. In France, if you do a DNA test, you might go to jail if the mother doesn't consent. If you are a man, the world is burning. It is not the black woman problem. It's not the United States problem. It's a West problem.